Guys, thanks for joining us. We're back again with another BSW video installation guide project. In this particular car, we're tackling a head unit upgrade, whereby we'll be removing the in-dash CD player, relocating the climate controls down here to this pocket area, and installing a double den, which is a full-size navigation screen, which will control your iPod, your Droid, subwoofers, all kinds of good stuff. It's just a multimedia hub that we're going to be installing. It's surprisingly simple and straightforward, but we want to show you how to do it so that you can do it over the course of a Saturday afternoon. So super straightforward. Plastic panel tools, as always, no metal. We're going to get the trim out. This has been custom painted / trimmed, so I have no idea what we're going to find when we get back here. It should be exciting. There we go. Excellent. So you can just see 1, 2, 3, 4 pops out. Put this up on your dashboard so as not to scratch it. This side's already loose, so we have a little hook over here. Pop that out. Again, remove it. Don't want to scratch it. And that's going to reveal 2 Phillips head screws. So get those guys out. Again, no power tools. It's disrespectful. All right. Radio slides out. We have our harness on the back, which again we use our plastic panel removal tool. Lift up, it snaps out. We have our radio antenna. One of 2 different styles could be back there. It could be a round style or more this square style. And our radio is out of the picture. Pretty easy, eh? So that's done. We're going to push our harness back there. Remove the climate controls just using our hands. That looked complicated, but it's really not. We're just unplugging them. It just pries back in there. You can see this plug, we push down, rock the arm back, it unplugs. These are all just generic plugs where you'll just depress a small button, or clip rather, and they'll free themselves. And that's gained us access to our entire sub-dash panel, as you can see. The pocket on the bottom, most likely your car is going to have the pocket. Again, using our hands from the back side, pop it out. Pretty easy, huh? So that's the dashboard removal process. We're going to pause right here, let you revel in your success, and plan the rest of the install. All right, guys, so we've got the radio, the climate controls, and our pocket out of the way. Now let's go ahead and get the sub-dash out of here. Very straightforward. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 Phillips head screws. You may remember lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. If you don't know that, please have someone else do this installation for you. Maybe your grandma. I'm just kidding. Your grandmother knows that, by the way. You can ask her. All right, so it's a little bit tricky up here on the top. These vents are very, very, very tight in this dash. There's 4 little clips that attach them, actually. One on the top, and then they're about midway here and here. Sometimes they pop right out, and other times it can take a few minutes. So let's hope this is one of the quick ones, just in the interest of time. Again, plastic panel removal tool. If you use a metal panel removal tool, you will break this, and you will be buying another one. So don't break it, be careful, use plastic. Pull down. Again, your tool may be a little different. Nice. This one's gonna behave. So we get the 2 top pieces are free. Lift up on the bottom. It can be a real bear. Atta girl. Ah ha ha. All right, nice. So let me show you what we did. There's a clip there, so we're really just trying to depress those. BMW makes a tool, it's just expensive. You can also take a couple credit cards and wedge them back there. And on the bottom, clip there and clip there. It's the same thing. The bottom's a little bit trickier to get to, but nevertheless, that's what we're removing. So we don't actually want to take this out because we don't want to deal with unplugging this and all that those shenanigans. So just lift it up, and then this subframe is going to slide out. Take our vents, put them up there. Don't snap them back in. just put them there. And with the sub dash out, now I've already done it, but you just relocate. You just pull your climate control wires down here to the bottom. So make sure you get all 4 of them. And that leaves us a giant hole back here with which to work. Here's our main wiring harness. Here's our antenna, which this is obviously a newer model. I think this is an 02, 03. This is 01 of 03. So it's going to have the Euro spec square antenna. The radio comes with both adapters, but if you're putting another generic radio in, you'll have to buy those adapters elsewhere. So these guys are going to end up getting shoved way back here out of the way. So we want as much of this clear as we can. In fact, let's see how much room we have there. I may end up taking this off because I don't want to deal with this. You don't necessarily need to. Actually, we're just going to leave it. I don't want to mess with it. So it's totally flexible. You're not going to mess anything up. So this gives us our workspace, and we're ready to install our head unit. So let's get everything we need over here. We also need to talk about cable routing, GPS antenna routing, etc. So let's get some cables over here and start talking about placement and such. All right, guys, so now that we've kind of come out with our plan of attack, we're going to talk about all the different accoutrements that we can connect to our Dynavin, or whatever unit really you're putting in. Obviously, Bluetooth is a big feature of this. We have this boom mic here that we're actually going to install up here on the windshield. There's a couple different ways to do it. I actually would maybe do something a little more custom, maybe even figuring out a way to put it back here. I think we've showed you guys this before, but we might as well put it in this video. Pry your light out. Damn it, run this thing out of here. It's always really tight. I can already see the clip is not wanting to play here. This should just pop out. You can see this metal clip right here, but you can see on this side, for whatever reason, the metal clip has decided it's going to stay up inside of there. So we're going to try and go about this roundabout way. All right, that one, for whatever reason, you can see is all kinds of funky compressed. So anyway, unplug that, take our fingers, pop that out. Got our sunroof switch. Get that out of the way. This is how we're going to do it in this car. I'm going to do something cool up here so you guys can, I would do it the same way. So disconnect our Bluetooth mic, take our cable. Be careful back here, it can get sharp. Run it up through there, pull it out on the back side. Leave yourself, I don't know. Hell, maybe you can put it right there. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Leave yourself that much cable or so. And then this we're going to route back around and plug in behind the radio. Ultimately, certainly something that you can tackle. Outside of that, we have our GPS antenna. And a lot of guys will say, put this on the outside of the car, and that's realistically probably the best place to put it. But a lot of us don't like having this on the outside of our car for multiple reasons. I've had really good luck, and at least I can say this in major cities, by putting the antenna up on the right front corner of the dashboard. Some cars it's a problem, other cars it's not. You can play with the reception, so my advice is to kind of play around with your antenna. Don't route any cables permanently. Drive around for a few days with the antenna, either placed up on the corner there of your dashboard, the corner here of your dashboard, maybe the back and the rear deck, although I don't think the cable's long enough for that. No, it's not. So seemingly they want it on the front of the car because that's not long enough to go anywhere else. So yep, so either corner of your windshield, I'd probably do passenger. So that being said, we need to take the cable, we'll route it up. Let's see, and we need to pop the glove box out, I suppose. So with the glove box out, which we have a supplement covering that, you'll just route this up here behind the radio, plug it in, and that'll cover our GPS antennas. If you've got a Droid phone, you're going to want to extend your USB cable out. So I've just got a male-female USB cable. You want to pull out a USB from the backside. Well, the unit, this particular Dynavin has a USB on the front. Some guys want this for like a thumb drive or something like that. Your iPod cable, of course. If you've got your iPod, this plugs into the back as well. It don't give you a whole hell of a lot of length, so what I might do is pull the cable down through the ashtray, up behind, and plug it in so you can pull your cable out of your ashtray. I don't think we're going to do a spec dock for the Dynavin unit. We may in the future, but for the time being, we're going to stick with the cable, unless demand dictates otherwise. So these are just the things that we want to plug in the back. We've got our antenna, which in this case just snaps right in. And this is where it gets kind of tricky if you're not sure about things. This is our main wiring harness. What we do, we plug this guy in. It's pretty straightforward. This snaps down on top of it. We've got a few wires coming off here. We have our amplifier on, or amplifier connection, which is going to turn on an aftermarket amplifier if you have one in the car. It's just a 12 volt out when the key's on. We have our parking brake wire, which enacts the video to be viewed while the car is in park or with the parking brake on. We have a reverse wire where if you have an optional reverse camera, this would connect to the reverse wire in your cluster harness, which is back up under here. Maybe I'll snag it down here, truth be told. I never put a reverse camera in an E46. So you might be able to snag it down here in the cluster. I think you might be able to. But that will activate the rear view camera. So outside of that, we've just got a whole bunch of tucking of wires to do back here to keep it clean, make sure we don't have any rattles, make sure nothing works itself loose. So that's really the brunt of our connection. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to pause. I'm going to go ahead and do the hard wiring of this stuff, get all the cables ready. We're going to plug the unit in, slide it in, confirm everything works before we button everything together, and wrap this up. It shouldn't take more than an hour to do this, I certainly wouldn't think. So let's pause here and join you back here in a moment.